Welcome everyone. This is a general reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, any other planet in the sign of Aquarius for the dates of October 21st through November 20th. So the season of Scorpio, sun season. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. Yes, let's get started with your guys' reading. So for the general energy, I'm seeing a sort of a coming out stage of something, or you're wanting to, or you or somebody is wanting to speak about something, right? Speak some truth, something that maybe has been locked up a little bit for some fear and some anxiety and that kind of thing, and a sense that you maybe have been missing out on something, or this is something that's kind of been missing that other people experience, that you're kind of that's not hasn't been like in your life, I guess, or somebody's life for a minute, and you've been kind of maybe missing it, or a sense of missing something. And then also this feeling of kind of wanting that thing to come towards you, right? And not wanting to necessarily put forth a bunch of effort for yourself. And that's the sort of thing that I'm seeing maybe transitioning out a little bit. And if not completely transitioning out, someone is wanting to transition it out, right? Someone is wanting to kind of move forward a little bit from that, be a little bit more open, and be a little bit more truthful and speaking of their truth and things. Freedom, stop it. And really just being more open, being more connective with things. And as I said before, in the beginning, it's a sort of a coming out vibe. So it's like a wanting to kind of communicate, right, with either one person or several people, or the world, or something like that, wanting to communicate something to somebody, and feeling like you maybe at this point now possess some of the resources that maybe you didn't before, or something like that, or just somebody is ready to put in a little bit of work towards speaking their truth, I guess. And there can be an element of being a little bit less self-involved, self-absorbed, or something like that, and a little bit more like you maybe feel, or somebody maybe feels as if they need to speak this truth because it's relevant or important to the people around them, or the people in their social circle, or something like that, or to society, or something like that, that it may be beneficial for other people as well, for them to kind of tell their story. And so they're sort of approaching it that way, whether that's you or somebody else, sort of coming at it from a way of like, well, before it was like, well, they didn't feel like they necessarily needed to share all that, right? And now they're kind of seeing that it's maybe beneficial for some other people, or an organization, or something like that, a system of something that they need to come forward with something, for the sake of them, somebody else, or the greater good, or something like that. It's definitely a moving forward, a little bit of a transitionary energy, definitely kind of a want to sort of like start something, or a willingness to start something, or a willingness to kind of shed an old attitude and replace it with a new one, kind of. Some kind of an intuitive vibe to it too, right? A little bit more future thinking, forward thinking, some ideas about where this sharing of information and whatnot will lead, right? A little bit of clarity about that, I think, just coming from your intuition, from yourself, basically, is kind of what I'm seeing, or your experiences and that kind of thing, of course. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna pick these up and I'll put some more cards down and come back with some advice for you guys about this situation, this time period, what you can do to kind of maximize the energy. So I will be right back. Okay, Aquarius, I am back with your advice. Here it is. Okay, so this can definitely be a good time, I think, for you to do some self-examination and dig into those emotions a little bit. Dig into those negative emotions a little bit that have been kind of closing you off and blocking you off from some of these things, right? Specifically, fear and anxiety, right? Think about it. Just kind of dig into it. Think about, where these fears are coming from. And that kind of thing. First of all, you can also think about what you can do about these fears, right? How you can start to get over them. How you can maybe try to start slowly moving into something, right? Try to overcome some of these fears, because I think that there could be a tendency to want to get pulled back into that, right? It's like on the one side you have this like desire to speak something, right? To let something be known, make something be known. And on the other hand, there's all these kind of old habits pulling you back, and anxieties and things like that, right? So it can be a good time to look at those and make sure that you are looking at them so that you're not allowing them to control you, right? So specifically the fear and anxiety, also this idea of wanting that thing to sort of, wanting somebody else to sort of maybe like ask you or whatever, you know what I mean? Like wanting somebody else to bring it up, or wanting the thing to naturally happen without your being very direct and forward about it, right? And to practice some self forgiveness also, right? Some acceptance of some of these negative emotions and moving on then from that, but not blaming yourself for them type of thing. And you can also communicate your emotions. In addition to communicating whatever it is that you want to communicate, right? Communicate the emotions surrounding that for you if you want to. If you find that might be helpful or help you to explain your perspective a little bit more or something like that, right? You can do that. But it is just very much about kind of looking inward a little bit and looking at where some of these things stem from. Are they necessary? That kind of thing. Use your intuition, use your emotional faculties, right? Whatever emotional faculties you kind of have, you want to dig into those a little bit more, or a little bit during this time. And there might be kind of a tendency to, because you're feeling a little bit more emboldened, right? To just fall into old patterns, and meanwhile be like daydreaming a little bit more about what you could say, and this truth that you do want to speak, you know what I mean? But they want you to kind of like take some actual steps towards that, even if they're not physical steps and they're all internal, right? They could be all inside of you, and personal stuff that you need to work out too. But to at least take some kind of steps towards that goal, and that ideal, that dream of sort of letting this thing be known, right? Let's see. Yeah, there is very, very much like a lunar energy. You got all 3 water signs in your recommended spread, so definitely I feel like I should reiterate the self-forgiveness thing too, and just bringing yourself authentically to this situation, right? Yeah, just being very true to yourself, not holding yourself up to too high of standards, right? Or too low of standards. Just being yourself, bringing yourself, and kind of viewing it as just a journey or a path and that kind of thing. So what you've done in the past has led you to here, even if there were some detours or something like that, or they were caused by some negative emotions or some fear or some inabilities that you had, or something like that, or have. It's just the way it is, kind of thing, right? It's not, there shouldn't be a whole lot of judgment attached to it. There doesn't need to be. And open up, you know, your open up your what? Open up, open up your creativity, I guess, or your creativity and your senses for, I want to say like primal behaviors or something, or natural behaviors, right? More of the self-forgiveness, more of the non-judgment, non-blaming kind of thing is this just recognizing what are just normal behaviors. A lot of things are just kind of normal behaviors. A lot of people do them, right? And they just kind of are, to a degree. And that can maybe help you get rid of some of those fears, right? And some of those anxieties and stressors, or feelings that maybe you don't possess all the resources, or that kind of thing, or you don't possess maybe you don't possess a lot of emotional faculties, emotional intelligence, and it's a little bit difficult for you, or something like that. Yeah, that it's not something to let you ultimately necessarily be held back by, right? It's just kind of the way it is. Like, there's flaws in everything, imperfections in everything, and they're still worth putting energy into, fleshing things out, and that kind of thing, right? And doing what you want to do, doing the things that you think that are gonna propel you in the right direction that you want to go in, right? And to kind of honor your own desires in that way, and not just give them in to the fact that maybe you weren't feeling necessarily like you could handle it before, kind of thing, right? Allow yourself to progress through some of those blockages and that kind of thing. So yeah, I would definitely say explore your emotions, for sure. For sure. Yeah, is that it? I guess that's it. Yeah, okay, that's it. Holy cow. All right, thank you all for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, let me know, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.